What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And I just want to say, man, the same guy that told you all Bronny James earned his spot, his 4 year guaranteed contract with the Lakers, is the same guy now telling you NBA media, the media is the reason why people are turning away from the NBA product. And you can't make this up. I mean, if JJ Redick already hasn't said the most dumbfounded things, as far as talking about sports and the NBA in general, if he hasn't already generated a reputation for that, he's definitely got one now because how can you be so unaware and delusional as to why the NBA's viewership has dipped? But ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. And ladies and sports fans, and gentlemen, listen, I didn't even hear the clip myself. I'm not going to cap. I'm not going to sit here and say that I heard JJ Redick say this. I've been hearing a number of people cover it. To some of my favorite YouTubers and whatnot. And Rob Parker, I heard him go in on JJ Redick about this situation. I'm not going to hold y'all. I've been a little busy behind the scenes doing some things. So I didn't really hear JJ Redick say this for himself, but it's not so far out of the imagination to think that JJ Redick would say something as dumbfounding as the NBA media is the reason why the viewership for the NBA has dipped. Because JJ Redick, when he was a media member full time, was one of those guys that tried to tell you that this era of basketball is better than past eras. When we all know, if you have an IQ level above the room you're in, we all know that is straight cap. I mean, just on all scales, we're talking about competitiveness, parity, superstardom, and just the basic will to play the game. All of that outside of, before we even get to the NBA product, all of the intangibles that the NBA has, all of that was better in the past than it is now. And then you can actually make a case for the past NBA era, and as to why it is better than the modern day era. I mean, we can start with the defense. Do y'all want to start with the almost 83s a game we're seeing nowadays? What else? You want to start with the entitled superstars that you pay them more money to play less games nowadays? You want to start with the political agenda that we all know that the NBA has, how they are curved to the more liberal side of politics. Where do you want to start, man? This is the same sports industry. The sports organization that um, isolated, half of its audience in 2020 with all of the kneeling and all of that nonsense. So it's just a matter of the fact that the NBA was just one of those examples of somebody shooting themselves in the foot for the better or worse comparison. The NBA was on the rise. They did have a good thing going on, and I would say it started in 2004 when they got rid of hand checking. That was the first domino that led us to the modern day NBA, because of course the NBA didn't fall off a cliff overnight, but I don't think it can recover overnight either. But I think that in 2004, when they got rid of the hand checking in the NBA, that was essentially the first domino to fall. And then we could just go on from there. I mean, luckily, when they got rid of hand checking in 2004, the NBA was still filled with dudes that had gone to college, or at least had some fundamentals. And if nothing else, you had the T-Macs, the Kobe's, the Kevin Garnett's of the world, that they weren't so much fundamentally sound. They didn't have the old school coaching that the collegiate programs kind of instill in you, but they at least had the will to win. They had the drive, the passion, Something that we can't say about these guys, you know. So, although in 2004 they get rid of the hand checking, the NBA was able to sustain a level of its past fever because they had a lot of NBA players that were still in the league from the 90s, early 2000s, so forth and so on. But we all seen it at the time, around the time in 2017 when Kobe retired. And it was we even predated a few years before then, but definitely after the retirement of Kobe, the NBA has seemingly fallen completely off, man. Because these guys nowadays are just a joke, all around. I mean, I try to have some love and respect for the Anthony Edwards of the world, the John Morants, the Zion Williamsons. But all of these young men, they all come with some sort of weird, shortcoming in their games or personalities. So it's very hard to generate the same kind of following for them that Michael Jordan had, that Kobe had at one point. Kobe kind of lost some of that love during his situation in Colorado, but we can even say that LeBron James has, some of that same devout support. Because a lot of these dudes are again entitled. They are silly. They make very unprofessional decisions. And you can't tell someone else how to live their life and all of that stuff. But if you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and you have millions of businesses and brands invested in you, so you could be a professional athlete and mentor to the youth. Yeah, you're not allowed to do certain things. I'm sorry, just more power. With great power comes great responsibility. To quote Uncle Ben, but at the same time, these guys don't have that same. They don't prioritize, these type of things. So the NBA has suffered because of it, and JJ Redick again has to be the most unaware guy in the room. JJ Redick is one of those dudes, man. It does not baffle me at all that he and LeBron James get along so well. It did not baffle me that him and LeBron James decided to do the podcast together, because these dudes are two peas in the same pod. Very delusional men. Very they live in their grandeurs of illusion. JJ Redick, I'm sure in his head, he was a great NBA player. He was a great college player. He was legitimately a great college player, but in JJ Redick's head, the fact of the matter that he made it to the NBA and he was a scrub in the NBA, that gives him validity to act as if he's some kind of NBA guru or NBA savant. He is not. And so forth, and the same for LeBron James. And LeBron James' head, he is the greatest basketball player to ever play in the game of basketball. I'm sure in LeBron James' head, which is nothing wrong with that if it provides confidence. If you have these, beliefs of grandeur, and your beliefs don't really lead to the image. They don't support the image that you truly have. You start to look delusional. So JJ Redick saying this kind of stuff, man, it does not baffle me. I mean, again, this is the same dude that attacked Bob Cousy, Jerry West, all of those guys talking about they played against plumbers. When, shout out to those fellas too, Bob Cousy, Jerry West, and a number of other NBA legends. They all came out and spoke out against JJ Redick, criticizing past generations, But the fact of the matter that, like, JJ Redick, you was a plumber. Like, how you how you attacking anybody when you were, if we look at your NBA career, you were the very plumber that you saying everybody that these past legends was playing up against. So, does that take away from LeBron James because he competed against you? Does that take away from Kobe, Steph, all of these guys that put buckets on your head, night in and night out? No, it doesn't, because you were the very plumber that the NBA greats of today competed against. And now you're trying to discredit other NBA legends of the old because they competed against guys who were probably better than you. Let's be frank. When I go back to the past generations, we talking about fundamentals. We talking about defense. We talking about just men. Men that no matter what, they wasn't giving any ground. It was all about standing your ground, winning the game, being competitive, and making the game. At least as far as the integrity of the game, you made it better. You left it better than you found it. And that's something I recall Michael Jordan saying as far as his one of his main goals of being an NBA, statesman. It's just, I want to leave this game better than I found it, respectfully. So, but I can't say that JJ Redick understands that in any notion. I can't say that, and the fact, well, let's just say the fact of the matter that he can't understand that, he can't identify that. He actually thinks, he probably actually thinks. I don't want to just say that just to say. But JJ Redick probably truly believes this era is better than past eras because he has never accelerated to the heights of being the best of anything. Not just an NBA player, not just a college player, but he was never the best of the best media guy. He damn for sure ain't the best of the best NBA coach right now, in his 30 game or so sample. So I just don't get where he has this this what can I say, this chip on his shoulder, I guess. Maybe that's not the right, this pride, this inner pride that JJ Redick has, where he feels that he can say these kind of things and it holds some kind of ground or holds some water. It just doesn't. It's like JJ says this stuff, and then when you look into it, when you get into the nitty gritty, the facts, the nuances, you start seeing this dude is out of his damn mind. I mean, we could talk about the Doc Rivers situation, and I love Doc Rivers personally as far as Doc's approach to the game. In my opinion, I've always found Doc to be one of the better coaches, one of the greatest coaches to do it, considering the fact that how many coaches have we had come through the NBA, never reach an NBA finals, never reach an NBA playoffs, and nonetheless never win at least one NBA championship. We got a whole listicle of coaches that we can go through as far as that. And we're talking about some of the greatest to ever coach. Doc Rivers is one of those dudes, to me, that is a dog as a coach. But if we talk about that situation that him and JJ Redick have or had, which I don't know exactly where their relationship is now, JJ Redick had the unmitigated gall to attack Doc Rivers coaching when it was Doc Rivers coaching that yielded JJ Redick's best NBA years. Let's just say this. Okay, if it wasn't for Doc Rivers, JJ Redick could very well be one of those dudes that just came and went in the NBA and we never heard from him again. The fact of the matter that he was able to attain some kind of relevance under the coaching of Doc Rivers, this man has opportunities being presented to him right now to this very day, including the most arguably illustrious job in the NBA as far as being a coach for the LA Lakers. Like, this dude just, like I say, he says these things, he attacks Doc Rivers. You do a little bit of homework, you start seeing that, well, damn, JJ, how can you have so much vitriol towards Doc Rivers when it was his coaching, again, that gave you your best NBA years? And let's just say, let's be 100, it was those years that gives you somewhat of some sort of credibility now to talk about the game of basketball. It was only because of the coaching and the results that Doc Rivers was able to yield that we are subject to JJ Redick now, because like I say, he has this hubris about him that's just is not validated in reality. But him blaming NBA media, I think he namely, was talking about inside, inside the NBA on TNT, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Shaq, Ernie, those guys. I think he was trying to take a shot at them. We all know that those guys are legends. And in fact, as far as NBA media goes, it's really NBA inside the NBA on TNT. If I'm saying that correctly, it's really them number one in the NBA media atmosphere, and everybody else. It's no close number twos. There's no rivals to what they've done. In fact, everybody that has had a NBA type show on television like that has tried to mimic the inside the NBA on TNT formula. So It's the fact of the matter that JJ Redick is taking shots at these guys. You know what I mean? I know you're trying to take a shot at general NBA media, but taking a shot at these guys, man, you're gonna get all kind of pushback because the savants, us guys, the actual stalwarts of the NBA, the guys that actually love this game and are purists. We understand that the inside the NBA is one of the last of the Mohicans as far as NBA media you can trust. You can't trust ESPN. Let's just put it out there. Not for a second. Fox, I guess FS1, you can trust them a little bit, but it's not as I don't know if I want to say entertaining or educational. Fox FS1 is just, I don't know, it's just kind of more cut and dry. But ESPN cannot be trusted. All we really got is Shaq, Ernie, Charles, and Kenny. So, you got to be careful if you're going to be talking about those guys. You got to be on your game, on point with your information. Again, something that JJ Redick has never done. But that's all I got for y'all on this video, man. Please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on this here platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I'm always interested to hear what you all have to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.